Welcome to the Nevis newscast for Tuesday, June 30th, 2020. I'm Freddie Steelibird. More and more nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis are expressing an interest in being repatriated to the Federation. In light of this, on Monday, June 29th, Chair of the Nevis COVID-19 Task Force, Dr. Judy Nisbett, used the opportunity to outline the procedure for repatriation to Nevis while the borders of St. Kitts and Nevis remain closed.
Application for repatriation should be made to the Nevis COVID-19 Task Force at drjudy.nisbett, Nisbett, at niagov.com. The anticipated time for processing an application is a minimum of 5 working days. The application should outline personal information including full name, as in passport, date of birth, gender, personal email address, mobile number, occupation, proof of citizenship or residency, home address in Nevis, and home telephone number. Any additional family members traveling with you, the same information applies.
The respective person's travel information must also be submitted.
Port of embarkation, proposed carrier, and proposed date of travel. We are saying proposed because we would not encourage you to make a confirmed flight prior to knowing whether or not it would be possible to accommodate you. Once the application is approved by the task force and the Nevis Air and Seaports Authority, an email will be sent along with the quarantine or the isolation contract to be signed and returned to the task force.
Quarantine is for 14 days, subject to the conditions outlined in the Emergency Powers COVID-19 regulations.
Upon arrival, all persons are transported in an assigned vehicle to the quarantine site. However, items that need to be provided by relatives or friends include beddings, toiletries, cooking utensils, groceries, and cleaning supplies. Family members are allowed to take food or other supplies to the disaster management offices at Long Point daily. During quarantine, persons are monitored daily by the health team for development of any symptoms suggestive of COVID-19. A COVID-19 test will be done on day 14 of quarantine, which will determine whether or not a person is released from quarantine. However, anyone developing symptoms or signs suggestive of COVID-19 during the quarantine period will also be tested.
Chair of the Nevis COVID-19 Task Force, Dr. Judy Nisbett. Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, toured the Maddens livestock farm on Tuesday, June 30th to check on the status of the livestock. Livestock specialist at the Maddens livestock farm is Rohan Claxton.
In the space of 8 weeks, we had a total of 20 calves being born, and to me that's a record. With our breeding program, we have a strict breeding program where we try to rotate our breeding bulls every 4 months. But now we're going to change it and try to do it every 3 months so that everybody could have a chance. Bearing in mind, the idea is to have calves dropping all year round so that we could supply the demand that is happening now. Of course, if you go to the supermarkets, you see the ground beef, the choice cuts, diced pork, diced beef, anything the abattoir is producing, 50% of that beef comes from Maddens Stock Farm. And we are proud to be part of the process, and in the near future we're hoping to increase our production rate.
Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, in his remarks, outlined the plans for the future of livestock on the island.
We're hoping to continue growing this stock farm. And you would have mentioned the breed that we have here, the different breeds that we have here. We want to expand this farm further into areas that were once under livestock production in the past. If you were to look west of us, then that area was also a grazing area. We have sought to look into the possibility of procuring the necessary equipment so that we can do the clearing and preparation and also the fencing of that area so we can continue to grow the herd, and in so doing we will be providing the island of Nevis with some comfort that we are being sustainable in beef production. And of course we'll look at all of the necessary techniques in the future to ensure that we are resilient and we are also innovative in the process as well too. Because people who can feed themselves can be assured that outside forces will not impact us negatively.
Minister Jeffers also thanked the team and pledged the continued support of the Nevis Island administration.
So I want to thank you, Permanent Secretary Huey Sargent, the Director Randy Elliott, you as the supervisor here, Mr. Claxton Kelso, who is one of our livestock extension officers, and all of the persons who work here on a day-to-day basis, because it is their effort. Those who do the real difficult work are the ones who must be commended, because it is their effort that we are speaking about this morning, and it is their effort that is manifested in what we are showing the general public here today. And I want to say thanks to everyone, and I am truly appreciative of the effort and everything and anything that I can do to ensure that we continue on this pathway or this upward trajectory, so to speak, to build this particular industry in Nevis. You will get my fullest support.
Also present on the tour were Director of Agriculture Randy Elliott and Extension Officer Kelso Clark. The Honourable Cleone Stapleton Simmons, Parliamentary Representative for St. Thomas's Lowlands, has launched 2 programs to support social, community and youth development. Sunday, June 28th, saw the launch of the Lowland Community Foundation and the Morella Webb Scholarship Fund at the Cotton Ground Community Center. The Lowland Community Foundation is designed to provide support and financial assistance to vulnerable persons within the St. Thomas's Parish. The Morella Webb Scholarship Fund, named in memory of the young mother who was killed in a shooting incident in 2017, will offer annual scholarships to 2 eligible students within the parish to assist with textbooks and other educational resources. At Sunday's launch, 2 secondary school students, Mauricia Webb, daughter of the late Morella Webb, and Sidondre Fleming, daughter of the late Makisha Fleming, were awarded the first Morella Webb scholarships presented by former Premier of Nevis, Joseph Parry. During the presentation, Stapleton Simmons explained that she herself is a perfect example of how community support can develop our youth, as she also lost her mother at the tender age of 2 months. She pledged her continued support to the guardians of the recipients. Caribbean Development Bank CDB Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET Enhancement Project will commence in Nevis in early July. That is according to Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Mark Brantley.
A new technical wing will be constructed at the Gingerland Secondary School. The old technical wing has already been demolished. A 2-story building will be erected, and that will accommodate on the ground floor a building and furniture technology classroom, a cosmetology center. The first floor will house a technical drawing room and classroom and an electricity and electrical technology classroom. The project at the Gingerland Secondary School is intended to last for 12 months. The TVET project comes at a cost of US $8 million. And all of the preparatory work on Nevis, for example, the demolition work, etc., will be funded and financed by the Nevis Island administration.
The bid for the project was won by Lefco Equipment Rental and Construction Company Limited.
I am told that there were 4 local and regional bidders, and Lefco was selected. FDL Consult Inc. out of St. Lucia is charged with designing the structures to be built, and they will be on Nevis shortly, subject, of course, to the COVID protocols to start that process. They are also in the process of designing the multipurpose wing at the Charlestown Secondary School. That will be the second project.
Premier and Minister of Education, the Honorable Mark Brantley. The Nevis Air and Seaports Authority, NASPA, advises the residents of Nevis that the Long Point Port has resumed its regular business hours. NASPA now operates Mondays to Fridays between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. The hours at the Customs and Excise Department at the Vance W. Amory International Airport have also been updated to 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. The public is also advised that effective Wednesday, July 1st, 2020, NASPA will reintroduce charges for rental or storage fees for cargo. Persons utilizing the facilities at NASPA are asked to wear a face mask, using the hand sanitizing stations, and practice social distancing. For more information, contact the Nevis Air and Seaports Authority, NASPA, at 469-2001. The general public is invited to submit nominations for the conferring of awards in the following categories: the Order of National Hero, the Star of Merit, and the Medal of Honor. Nomination forms may be obtained from the Premier's Ministry on the top floor of the Social Security Building at Pennis Estate and must be completed and returned to the Ministry no later than Wednesday, July 8th, 2020, or submitted directly to the Secretary, National Honors Committee, Government Headquarters in Bastille. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Freddie Silibird. Thank you for viewing.
We got this. Yeah. Off of Mickey. No other choice but to be strong.
You're gonna make it.